mail.
Good morning, everybody. You're tuned to Computers 2K now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Amnon, your host for the next hour or so, along with Gal.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. And Spence is here.
Buenos dias, senor.
Yeah. And Katie's here.
Morning.
Good morning. Our number is 561-518-9773, and today's show is made possible by Vimix Software and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. Nick is traveling, so he's not going to be with us. We were discussing before we started the show about UPSs and stuff, so go ahead and continue the discussion, Spence.
Oh yeah, we did experience in the area here an event, a short weather event that did create some havoc with downed trees and lines being down, very localized but severe outages that were, obviously I got to roll a truck. It's not something they can fix at the distribution centers or anything like that. And wreaked havoc on a lot of us. And Amnon had an outage. How many hours was it, Amnon?
It's about 2.5 hours.
Yeah, but your generator, unfortunately, your backup plan didn't
Didn't
up.
work this time.
Yeah, but I have in my house, I have my AT&T fiber router access point, and then I have a second access point router on the other side of my house upstairs to give me coverage, and that UPS that covers that side of the house was affected, didn't go out, but it was a blinking warning and had to reset it. So it wasn't terrible, but it happened. What time was it? It was in the evening, right?
Ours
the
happened
storm?
at 10:13.
Yeah, the storm went through, I think it was Friday,
It wa-
around 9:30 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that happened here is, I mean, after the fact, I found out. So I went to sleep. Kathy woke me up at 10:15 saying the power's out, and I'm looking and I'm seeing lights, and I realized, oh, these are the emergency lights. So I put on a jacket, and here in my pajamas. I mean, I want to get out there and start the generator, and I say, oh boy, it's going to be cold. Well, I went outside. It was pretty nice. I started the generator. The power outside came on the pond and everything. Went inside. Yep. Oh, the lights are on. TV is going. About 5 minutes into it, the power started fluctuating. And the emergency light will come on and go out, and the lights will dim. And I said, okay, this generator, which is the first time that I'm actually using it to power the house, just was running rough.
How many watts
It's
capacity?
an 18,000.
Yeah, so that
Well,
should
it's
be more than
18,000. No, it's 18.
surge.
It's 18,000 three-phase. Since you're using two phases of it to get the 240 or the 208 or whatever, then it's 2/3 of 18. So it's 12.
So what happened was it was a relatively young generator, so it was going through a phase.
No. So I turned it off, turned it on again, and I saw the lights outside that came on and stayed and then started going crazy. So I turned it off, came in the house, realized, okay, I went to start the original generator, the one that I just had fixed, the voltage regulator. And of course, the battery was dead. I was going to move it, but I realized later I'm not going to be able to do it by myself here in the middle of the night. So I turned it off and came in the house, turned all the computers off. I mean, shut it down and turn all the UPSs off so it'll stop beeping and not to deplete the battery because it's doing no good. And we went to bed. About 12:30 or so, the power came back on. So I said, okay, good. I got up and saw that everything's fine. So I came here in the studio and turned on the UPSs and turned on the machines. And I saw that the streaming is not working. Said, oh yeah, I need to go in the office and turn the big UPS on so the network will get, and the modems and all that, the fiber. Everything came on, but Google Fiber had internet. AT&T did not. But the light on the AT&T modem router was green. It was fine.
Same with me. It was not. It was not a local outage.
It
was something
wasn't
else.
an
Yeah.
outage
What was it?
here. Well, I reset it, and then I went online to report an outage. And of course, you can't report it in the middle of the night unless you just talk to a AI. And everything is saying, well, we checked your circuit and everything is okay. I said, go ahead and reset it, do your thing. So I did. And then I said, well, let me get on it and see. Well, the problem was that after that long being out, the IP changed on it, the local IP. So I'm going with 92.168.0.1 on the AT&T side. It changed to 192.168.1.254. So of course there's no internet because I'm not on that one. So I did what they said and I hooked the laptop to it and got on it and changed the IP and all. Okay, it's back. Good. I come in here in the studio and the two machines that are on AT&T did not work. So I went ahead and I reset the switch and everything kind of came back on. All right, now I go and I changed and I fixed electrical clocks and everything is okay. Then I go and adjust the timers that are different places. Okay. It took about an hour to do everything and restart everything and make sure that everything is going to work as far as the backup of Delta Force and all that. But at that point I was up, so I'm
AT&T
thinking,
was listening to you rant, and your video is frozen.
they what?
Your video is frozen.
Right now? Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh well,
AT&T
that
heard
is
you
okay. That has something to do with the actual camera. Hold it a second. You could talk.
You're looking good though. You're not moving, but you look okay. So interesting. I actually entertained, after a couple of outages, getting a backup generator, natural gas powered backup generator. And I'm thinking, oh, this is a great idea. And so I got quotes. I went to Costco, I went to BJ's, and I did another third vendor. And the price was insane. And
Yeah, that was
because it's not just the unit itself was like $8,000, the natural gas unit. And then the installation part of it, because it requires a gas line upgrade. It requires a building a pad for it, getting a permit for that. It's got to be in a certain position. And I just didn't have any space in the yard. They could do it, but it just made it much more expensive because they couldn't put it right next to the house where it would make sense.
That was the A to D converter
Oh,
on the camera that
okay.
I had to reset it. Anyway, so I'm sitting and I'm saying, okay, I came back in here to make sure everything is fine and everything is okay. I said, okay, I'll go to bed, and the next morning, tomorrow morning, I'll change the generators. So I got up, everything is still fine. Great. I go outside and I'm beginning to think back. And I realized when I woke up, you wake up and you go and you do something, and we're getting to that age that, hey, it doesn't happen automatically. You have to think. I got instructions on the wall by the breaker box in the house and inside the door of the breaker box outside where the generator is hooked into. And one of the instructions is turn off the water heater, turn off the heat strips on the heat pump, turn off the range. Yeah, these three that take a lot of power. I mean, they're 10,000 watts each. I said, I did not turn those off. And I said, you know what? I'll bet that generator couldn't supply all that wattage. And that's what was causing it to flutter and run rough. So I said, okay, let's see. I started the generator and I left it running without a load for about an hour. Everything is fine. Said, all right, I'm going to take the plunge. I turned off the main power. I turned off the ones I'm supposed to turn off, and I turned the generator on to the house. And I let it run for about 2.5 hours on the generator, and everything is fine. So at that point, I realized that's what it was. I just forgot to turn off those hungry, power consuming devices. It was a good feeling to know that, yeah, okay, the generator is fine. It's just that there's just too much stuff on it. And about 2.5 hours later, I just went ahead and turned it off. Turned the power on and left things alone. But I still don't understand why the AT&T modem defaulted to the original IP. That it says that I guess the reason I had it 192.168.0.1 is there. That's what it was originally, the default IP address. And I said, okay, I'll leave it like that. When they changed my modem at one point, I guess they gave me the other one. They said there are two default IP addresses: 192.168.0.1 or 192.168.1.254, depending on which version you have. So it changed. But so this is the first time that it happens that that we didn't have power for that long. In the last 20, 30 years.
Is this something that you can configure?
Yeah. I went in.
No, but could you set up, because that's obviously on the private side of your network
right. It's the local.
You could make it whatever you want. You could do 10.10.10.10
right.
if you want.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But I would expect it to remember it.
Yeah. Well,
what do people that don't have generators do? What do they have to go? I guess they just go with the default one. But
I do have nailed up IP in the house for printers and some things. Like the second access point has a nailed up
Okay, so
IP address.
you need to remember that if the power does go out and those devices are not on a UPS, that there is a chance if something doesn't work, that's the first thing I'll know from now on. The first thing to check. The access point in the kitchen did not work. Alexa didn't work. The phone connected to it and everything, but there was no internet. And I
It
said, okay, what?
sounds to me that what you're describing is just an order of operation things. Something needs to be boot up first, and then the others will get their DHCP properly.
Okay, Gal, I know you're big on DHCP. I
I'm
am
not big on
You
DHCP.
should.
Everything that comes by default comes with DHCP.
I
That's what I'm
understand.
saying.
Yeah, but with us, I don't use DHCP. Only for the phones and little things. Everything else is nailed IP, static IPs. So like the kitchen is 192.168.0.17, I believe.
That's fine. But your Alexa gets it from DHCP.
That's
So
correct.
if you didn't have, if initially you didn't have a network connection, you didn't have a router that is up and giving out IPs,
Mhm.
right? Then Alexa came up, finished its initialization, tried for a few minutes, and then it stops. It doesn't retry, or it maybe will retry once every hour or something like that, right? So it just
I
that's
guess
the situation you got into.
Alexa was trying to connect to the access point, which is right above it.
Right.
And that did not have internet. So what I did is exactly what you say. I just unplugged it from power and put the power back in, and it came up with the correct IP address. And then Alexa came back to life. So I don't know how how far Alexa can connect to a wireless. You know how it is. I mean, it's nothing is farther than about 15, 20 feet away from Alexa, but there are some walls. And there's quite a few. I mean, both the Google Fiber router and the AT&T router have the wireless enabled. Now, the AT&T can only give you about 20 IPs from a different from a range. The Google Fiber has a bigger range of what to give you.
I get a lot more than 20 on
What?
mine.
No. Well, oh, more than 20 what?
Yeah, DHCP addresses.
No, you set it up in there. You
Right.
go
Oh,
in.
okay. I thought you were saying it was a limitation. You
No.
couldn't-
It's a limitation that
Yeah.
I imposed because I
Yes.
have
No,
all
it
the
makes sense.
other ones are static, and I don't want to conflict.
Yeah, I have a pool of static and a pool of dynamic.
Yeah, well, I realize that I don't use much dynamic, so hey, 20 is enough. I mean, that's only like if like you come in the house and you need to connect to my Wi-Fi, it will connect to that particular access point and give you an IP. But I don't need that many. I need more static ones because of all the little devices everywhere. So anyway, that was, I mean, it was tiring to think about what could go wrong, and I still don't know why it happened. I guess you just have to have the router and modem if you have one on a UPS because otherwise they don't keep any information. Now the Google Fiber is going through their box, which I don't. I mean, the IP did not change on it. It's their IP did not change on it.
It's not supposed to. I mean, you have flash memory there that
Well,
says
you
your
see, that's
configuration.
exactly what I was thinking. Now on the
No, I mean, you know it. It's maybe some malfunction with
well,
the rest of the configuration did pertain.
there
Like you
is
said, you
no.
had a limited DHCP range. Everything
I
of
know.
that nature.
No, there was no. I mean, the DHCP was completely open on all 255. It was like it went back to its default setup. I had to go in and
Then
change.
it either got zapped or there's something wrong with the router.
Well, maybe because, like I said, the Google router, which is an ASUS, I believe, did not have a problem. I turned it back on. Everything came up and everything was working on it.
Spence, you mentioned that AT&T, the AT&T service, you got dropped, right? The internet.
Yeah, so
line.
I can tell I'm on, I'm connected to the router, no problem. I got no lights, but I go into speed test and I can't connect. So I can see other devices in the house, no problem. It was just on their side, something happened to the network. So they were
So
probably in the
I'm
process of,
wondering if it's if it's their router and they, I don't know, they
that's
were
what
either
that's what I'm
troubleshooting,
thinking. Yeah.
if they sent like a factory reset or something from
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah. Well, if they, I mean, I know that most of their stuff should be on, a very high quality backup system, but maybe they had just had something run through the network. A killer packet came through
Yeah.
and took routers out. Remember that, Golf? Routers? We back in the day when I was selling that stuff. Once in a while,
You,
you'd have an
Spence,
upgrade.
Spence, you
What?
have an NATT router.
I do.
Are you looking at it?
No, it's downstairs.
Okay. There's the green light, and there's a button underneath that green light. That's like two arrows.
That's WPS. That's for connecting wirelessly
Okay,
without a
that
password.
was red. That was illuminated in red. Normally it's off completely. I mean, it's not even lit. But I saw
It shouldn't be.
Yeah,
Because
well,
you don't want that. Why you don't want to leave that on?
it
You use
was
that to connect a device using WPA, and you want to shut off again, so it's not available.
it.
I think somebody hacked Amnon
Yeah.
through the power lines.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh,
I tell you what else. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, what else went out? But that's nothing can do. But I came in the studio the next day and I say, okay, let's see that everything is still configured. Turn on the cameras, and they are back to their default because those are the Canon video cameras,
camcorders.
camcorders,
Yeah.
and there's no battery in them.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to sit here and reconfigure, which I forgot how to do, but I had the papers. Yep, okay, go then do this, do that, and got everything. I think I got everything the way that it was. But that's the other thing that kind of I was pissed at. And the main thing I was pissed at is I said I didn't have to turn everything off, the generator off, if I would only follow the paperwork, that paper page that I wrote and I stuck on the wall, and so I will remember every time. So I made new ones, stuck it right on top of the breaker in the outside breaker box where I have to turn off the main power and then turn on another big breaker for the generator to feed the house. I covered it with it, so I have to flip it, but you'll see it before you flip it, and you say, "Oh, yeah, I need to do that."
This raises in
I-
it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think you just need to file a petition with the power company to make sure that outages are just happening at 3 p.m. and not at 10.
That's
all.
it. Scheduled outages. That's it.
Exactly.
And the
We had
funny thing is, yesterday I got an email from Duke Power that wanted to know how did they do during the outage. Did we do good? And I was saying, what kind of question? It's
So,
an
yeah.
outage, you know.
Answer them with a question. Was there power during the outage?
Yeah. You did a great job of giving me no power.
Man.
Pam and I were having a discussion this morning. We lately, to make reminders for things that have to happen, like if you have a scheduled appointment somewhere, I have reminders on my phone, but I don't always look at them, and I don't. But
Mhm.
what I'll do is I'll take a post-it note size piece of paper and put it on the microwave. Say haircut today, just so I'm thinking, and I'm saying, well, that'd be a cool thing that you could have a makeup, a bunch of different stuff that's pre-printed that you could just stick up there. And Pam's like, well, why would you want to do that? Because you're just acknowledging that you're losing your mind.
Well,
And I'm thinking, well, I used to live when I worked in my office here. I used Post-it notes all the time because I
I
had so many things to be worried about. It was the easiest way for me to find those things instead of having a list somewhere I had to look at. So I have no problem with putting up
I am
reminders.
so glad that Gal told me about I used Google um, Calendar for a long time, but not for that. And when I was saying I need something with reminders, Gal was saying, get the app for the phone.
Yeah.
And it's nice because when you do that, you can say, I want to know if it's something really important. You can put a reminder in there the day before and say, remember, tomorrow is this. And then when the time comes for it, you can say, I want you to notify me an hour before. By default, it's an hour before, 30
Yeah.
minutes before, and 10 minutes before.
I use that all the time.
Yeah.
And
So
I have used it
Have
for a
you
long time.
guys synchronized your Amazon Echo with the Google Calendar?
No.
no.
And then it can check it, and it the same alert, the same notification. It can say, Amnon, in 40 minutes you're gonna have this and this.
Yeah.
So
I'd rather have it on my phone with me because I'm not always
it's
in the kitchen.
of course, but it's in addition to, it's not
Yeah.
instead of,
Well,
right?
yeah.
Trust me, that the moment I activated it, right? Because I sit here all day, most of the time, right?
Uh-huh.
It's helpful. But the most helpful thing about the calendar, it doesn't need to be Google Calendar. It can be
Yeah.
any shared calendar, right? Is setting it up in a shared calendar where it also alerts Mati.
Yeah.
So she
Yeah.
knows that I have an appointment. That's helpful.
And I also have multiple calendars that I would share back and forth.
Yeah.
So I would, that's a great feature too. I don't have the company anymore, so I don't really use that particular email address. But no, I really like that feature. And I'll do the same thing. I'm on 24 hours ahead, then 2 hours ahead, and an hour
Yeah.
ahead, just because I'd be running around. Oh my gosh, I had this appointment and I forgot about it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, there are different ways of doing it. But just be aware. People need to be aware that something could go wrong. But in most cases, yeah, people go with the default, I'm sure. And then there's no problem.
what can go wrong will.
Oh, yeah, it will. So, what else? What else happened
Hmm.
last week? Come on. Anybody?
I
Going
really didn't have
once?
anything
Huh?
critical happen.
Nothing?
Nothing
Okay.
exciting for me either.
I have been playing with we got access to Cursor. It's an LLM based IDE. It's basically Visual Studio Code baked in with an LLM agent,
Yeah.
and I've been using it for a while. It's really cool. And I mean, the company is paying for it. I can use it for work, but I've also been trying it out. It also wrote for me a Firefox extension that that really helped my workflow at work. We use Salesforce, and Salesforce has some inherent issues because it's a browser-based application. It has some limitations when a link is opened from outside the browser, then it opens a new browser tab. And I really wanted it to consolidate it always to the same browser tab, and found a way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
There were extensions out there, but like they were far from perfect, and they didn't provide any customization. So I said, okay, let's see if the LLM can do it, and it made a banger extension. I put it on the Mozilla website, the Firefox extension website. It has been approved, it's live, and it's working, and like a colleague can use it as well. And it's not Salesforce specific. It's like you put in any pattern that you want. I asked it to add support for synchronization across different devices. Works like amazing. Like, and so then I said, okay, maybe I can use it for something else. And I have a process where I pay my bills monthly. Right? There's a process that I go through. There's a very elaborate spreadsheet that I've created across time, across the years, and it provides me a snapshot of where's the money going, how much if I need to decide to not pay the complete credit card this month, I can understand why and where the funds are going to and all that. And I said the spreadsheet has a lot of limitations in its flexibility, and accumulating data across time is very inconvenient, and then trying to analyze data across time is very, very complex. So I said, if I had an interface that will help me do this in the flow that I'm doing it today, and I don't need to, right now, I don't need to be connected to anything automatically. I just need an interface that I can access through a browser or something, and it'll provide me like a way to track my bill paying properly. And this way I'll spend less time doing it every month that I deal with it. And I said, okay, let's give that LLM a try. And I gotta say, it is a beautiful piece of software. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done and tweaked, but I got the December bills paid throughout the process the same way I like, and it allowed me to do it very, very, very quickly. And it looks nice. And now I'm trying to tell it, okay, can I see it also on my phone, like from as a browser interface, stuff like that, and it's modifying it and it's changing it. And because I do have experience with software development in my past, so I'm also guiding it on how to properly build it and test it while it's building it, and it's doing it correctly. It's fascinating. Definitely fascinating to see how, for me, I have a lot of knowledge. I do not have specific knowledge in web development. I do not have experience with web development frameworks, but I do have experience in software development. I do have experience in writing code. I do have experience in understanding concept of managing the code versions and testing and all of that. I haven't updated my knowledge when it comes to what's available today on the web platforms. And here I have an assistant that I am telling it, okay, go ahead and make these changes and show me the changes and explain them to me. And then when it comes back, I can say, okay, you're in the right direction, you're not in the right direction, make these changes, etc. So it's like I'm managing it instead of writing code, right? They call it code vibing, and this is definitely a very, very pleasant experience.
Nice.
So I really like the tools. I also like that there is no way in hell in the next 10 years that this is going to replace coders. It can't. It just cannot. It does a lot. It makes me. I don't know how it will work. If I'm sure it will. It works well within a group setting. I know our developers in the company I work with, they use it a lot, and I'm sure it helps them a lot. But it cannot replace them. It cannot. There's just, and it cannot even reduce the number of developers. But what it might do is, if you have more developers, it actually will help them work better in synchronization, have shared concept, because they have this shared knowledge, this shared mind that they can tap into, that sees the code, and they can ask questions. So if you're working on a module at one end of the product and you need it to communicate it with another that you do not know how it works, you just know how you interact with it, it can help a lot. So yeah, very, very, very cool where this is going.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Let's switch. The Association for Computing Machinery, ACM, the world's largest society of computing professionals, announced that all publication and related artifact in their digital library will become freely available to everyone starting January 2026. Authors will retain full copyright to their published work under the new arrangement, and ACM has committed to defending those works against copyright and integrity related violations. There should be some real nice stuff in it. That's ACM, Association for
Absolutely.
Computing Machinery.
It'd be interesting to go back and look at their archives. Not that I want to spend the time to do that.
Well, I mean, there are
But there
people
could be
out
some-
there.
yeah.
There are people out there that are into it, and that's would be nice read.
Well, maybe they'll
And
if they make their access searchable and all that, which it probably is, be interesting just to see what's trending.
yeah. A Reuters investigation found that Meta knowingly tolerated large volumes of scam and illegal ads from China worth billions in revenue.
Oh my gosh, I'm so surprised.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I have no problem with that title, except the word China,
Well,
because I'm sure the scamming came from China, the US, Russia, Venezuela, Argentina, Israel.
no, the
like-
article was saying this is not right now. This is before Google left, and they said that all that stuff they're talking about came from Chinese companies to go
I'm
to
not
the
saying
US.
the Chinese companies are not even the largest. I'm just saying they allow scamming, period.
Yeah.
Right? It's not because it's from China that they allow it. And it's not, I mean,
Oh,
maybe
it's money.
Chinese.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But like everybody wants to make money. Chinese are just, you need to remember, they're just a very large section of the population.
Yeah. 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 And iRobot, the Bedford, Massachusetts-based company that brought the Roomba vacuum cleaner into American homes over its 35 years history, filed for bankruptcy last
about that.
Sunday. What?
I heard about that, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that story.
And
now there's
will
going to be
be-
a robot rebellion.
And it will be acquired by Picea, Picea, I don't know. It's Chinese contract manufacturer that also produces competing household devices.
Interesting. This is IBM and Lenovo, basically.
Yeah.
It's a what do they call it when it's a consolidation, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There
Market
was-
consolidation.
It's where the manufacturer had all of the power compared to the distributor, right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it took over. Yeah, interesting.
Okay, now
they were the gold standard for a long time that everybody built to try to get that market.
Yeah, but they were not fast enough in innovation
No,
compared.
they weren't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But they were the first major to market.
Yeah.
And then all the knockoffs came, and then the knockoffs got pretty good.
the knockoffs today are excellent.
Yeah.
Gal, you were
Very
talking
good.
about writing that, letting the LLM write you something. Quilter says its AI designed a complex Linux single board computer in just 1 week, booting Debian on first power up. And it goes, "Holy crap, it's working!" exclaimed one of the engineers. And this is coming from Tom's Hardware. It says LA-based startup Quilter has outlined Project Speedrun, which marks a milestone in computer design by AI. The headlining claims are that the dual PCBs, taking just 1 week to finish, then successfully booting Debian the first time it was powered up. The Quilter team reckoned that the AI enhanced process is demonstrated could unlock a new generation of computer hardware makers. So they let the
maybe.
AI design a one board computer. It's nice.
Yeah, we need to see what I mean. Look, the design exists, right? When you look at Raspberry Pi and you look at
Yeah.
Arduinos and you look, these are Arduino specifically is an open source project, if I remember correctly. Raspberry Pi, I'm not sure, but the design exists, and there's definitely a lot of knowledge. Now, would I use that device for mission critical situation? I doubt it's tested.
Not yet.
The fact that it booted doesn't mean it actually works. It is impressive, but it also needs to be scrutinized and see, like, is this a viable future? But if it is, and it's only about composition of, let's say, sensors, accessories, etc., and you can get sort of a generator for PCB's design, then you could customize these small units to your needs and make it cheap, like we do t-shirt printing today, right? You go to a website, you design your own t-shirt, you get it in the mail. If you could do that with computer design, then yeah, definitely. I mean,
We'll have to wait and
that can
see.
be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We're all hearing about those data centers being built all over the place. And there's a reason for it. The weight of AI server racks has reached a point where legacy data centers cannot accommodate them, even with significant retrofitting efforts. Chris Brown, Chief Technical Officer at Uptime Institute, said most retrofitting attempts would require bulldozing the building and starting over from scratch. And they were talking about a rack that 30 years ago was heavy, was like 800 pounds. And that's the data centers, they build them to. Today, each one of those racks for AI is 6,000 pounds.
Interesting.
So that's why they're building new data centers and not converting old ones or reusing old ones for that, because apparently it can support it. It's interesting. Unless you don't have floors. If you're just on the bottom floor and it's a slab, I guess it
No,
would be okay.
You're always elevated on data
Yeah.
centers.
Yeah.
You have floating floors. You cannot do it otherwise. You need access from below the racks for wiring, for AC, for so
Well,
it's never at ground level. It's always above ground level.
but it's interesting.
Look, the density of chips that go into these boxes today is just has risen a lot.
Yeah.
But there's also some of it. It's like I understand that there are new requirements, right? And weight might be, but it's like that's not the single reason, and it's untrue that you will need to. Uh, uh, you can't repurpose an existing one. You can use right half racks instead of full racks,
Yeah.
and then you're okay. And you can refurbish an existing data center as long as you have space that you can move into. So you can refurbish one room and then move to another, etc., etc. It's complex, but the requirement is that we need more, right? Right now, the processing power that exists isn't enough to sustain if we are focused on LLM-based computing moving forward. And LLM, for now, is not as efficient, probably, as it can be, and it will probably, as we move forward, it'll become more efficient, but it's going to take time. So for now, there's this growth. Whether it's a bubble or not, that is what we are going to need to see, right? Are they going to build 30 extra data centers in the US or 3,000 extra data centers in the US compared to what will actually be needed? And my guess is that right now the rate is about right, because it feels like the big companies, at least, they feel constricted by what they can. I work for Vast, and they sell racks full of equipment, right? We do not sell the hardware; we sell the software that runs on it. But we set it up for our customers, and uh, some of our customers, the big ones, right? They get to a point where the petabytes of storage and the amount of CPUs that they've bought from us, which provides them extreme performance to work their analysis engines that are based on LLM models, etc., or train LLM models from scratch. They are fighting restriction in space and computing power. They're hitting limits. The amount of data that needs to be processed is enormous. And with the introductions of LLM, there is one thing that has changed substantially, and that is nobody wants to delete any data at all. So it's not just keep the last 7 years of data. It's like, no, I want data from 30 years ago because I want to see progressions. I want to be able to analyze everything. I want to pass it through pipelines that will always look at all of the data. And that is the major change. The growth of data, the amount of data that we generate daily has grown. And now we're at a state where we say we do not even want to delete one single bit of this data. There is no such thing anymore as useless data, because even if it's garbage, then I can train it to identify garbage, right? So I think that's the main reason we need more data centers. And it's not because the existing data centers cannot sustain new equipment. Is everything on that old equipment, we still need it, and we need new equipment. So
It's interesting. There are a lot of new ideas coming out about powering them.
Yeah.
And this week, some news came out from SpaceX saying they want to do it in orbit. They've been talking about this,
Yeah.
but now they actually have a plan, and they're going to use Starlink as the delivery method. And there's also another company that is using a company called Boom, I think it is. They're making the first commercial supersonic jet since Concorde, and they developed an engine that's very efficient engine. They're going to use that as a standalone, basically power station for AI.
Interesting.
Yes, I mean it's supposed to be very efficient. You can put it anywhere. I mean, I don't know what the sound barrier, the sound restrictions might be or whatever, but it's supposed to, because they developed one that didn't have a sonic boom. That's the point of their model, is that's maybe why they can use it to do what it needs to do, because it's quiet. Very fascinating stuff.
Interesting.
And the first SMR, small modular reactors, are going to come online in 26. There's a company that's building it out, I think in Arizona or something like that. Their first usable one is within 6 months is going to be online.
I mean, it feels like a preordained, right? That we see research, right? What was it? 2 years ago, we see research in cold fusion moving forward in leaps, and it's like, yeah, we need this. We need this yesterday. And so, yeah.
There's still, I just read recently, where is that one, the experimental one? Is that in Europe somewhere? The one that they've been putting, it's a bunch of countries have all poured money into this. And I was looking at a schematic of it. It was explaining the schematic. It is unbelievably complex because of the magnetic fields they have to generate. And so there was
nothing like any of the science fiction implementations.
What was the movie with Val Kilmer where they developed cold fusion and it was like on the back of a pickup truck?
The Angel.
Yeah.
So,
it was that
was a riff off a riff off the TV show with Roger Moore, right?
Yep.
John is saying he lost sound on all streams. So, I told him to turn the speakers back on. Things can happen, but I just checked and all the streams are fine.
No, it's Spencer's voice. It is copyrighted.
That's right.
So,
I get every once in a while I get this pain in the back of my head. The little chip they put in there to make me stop talking.
Oh, speaking of pain in the back of your head with the chip, have you seen Cyberpunk, the animated series?
No.
Wow, it's they based it on the world that they created for the game series of Cyberpunk, and it's I love it, and it's about cybernetics, and and very violent, of course, as it's in this dystopian future of humanity, but I love it.
It's Netflix too. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll have to look at it.
All right. LG smart TV owners discovered over the weekend that recent WebOS software update had quietly installed Microsoft Copilot on their devices, and the app cannot be uninstalled. Affected users report the feature appears automatically after installing the latest WebOS update on certain models, sitting alongside streaming apps like Netflix and YouTube.
Interesting how this comes out just as Microsoft announces that they're cutting back on development of Copilot. You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah. And we're talking about Firefox, Gal.
Mhm.
So after a controversial news shared earlier this week by Mozilla new CEO that Firefox will evolve into a modern AI browser, the company now revealed it is working on an AI kill switch for the open source web browser. What was not made clear in Tuesday's comments by new Mozilla CEO Anthony Enzor Dameo is that Firefox will also ship with an AI kill switch that will let users completely disable all the AI features that are included in Firefox. Mozilla shared this important update earlier Thursday to make it clear to everyone that Firefox will still be trusted web browser.
Not only that, I'm guessing that alongside that kill switch, it will also probably be the only web browser where you can connect it to a locally run model instead of just only hosted outside models. So
Mm.
I would trust Mozilla to do the right thing. I mean, they have done some wrong turns in the past. It's not that they are perfect. It's just on the grand scheme of things, they have always pushed the envelope forward. So and in a positive way. So it's a shame that they are no longer they're no longer a substantial player in terms of volume of users.
No,
They are very, very
but those of
low
us,
on the ladder.
but
But
those of us that use it love it.
and yes, and it keeps getting better and better.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not using Firefox Mozilla at this point. I'm using Zen, which is based on Firefox Mozilla. It's
Mhm.
another open source project. And I think like the fact that something like this can exist and you still stay within the ecosystem and it functions well. It's not you never feel like this is going to turn on you. It's not. So I'm for it. I'm here to see what they're going to come up with.
Let me just.
Did you guys see the story about Waymo and their outage in San Francisco? They apparently had to suspend 30% or more of their service in the city because there was a power outage that knocked out traffic lights, and the cars need traffic lights to function. So they were literally stopping in intersections and not moving and creating havoc in the city. Interesting.
No.
Hmm.
Microsoft's latest holiday ad for its Copilot AI assistant features a 30 seconds montage of users seamlessly syncing smart home lights to music, scaling recipes for large gathering, and parsing HOA guidelines, none of which the software can actually perform reliably when put to the test. The Verge methodically tested each prompt shown in the ad and found that Copilot repeatedly hallucinated interface elements that didn't exist, claimed to highlight on screen buttons when it hadn't, and abandoned calculations midway through. Why
Uh,
would Microsoft put an ad showing
because the
this?
marketing team and the engineers, they do not synchronize before they come up. The marketing team shows how they want the product to look like, and they are not checking whether we're still there or not. They are selling a vision that has nothing to do with actual development. You see it everywhere. It's not just Microsoft.
Yeah.
I can tell you from I told about my experience writing the web application. One of the instructions I told it is to always test the code before it presents changes to me.
Right.
And every once in a while, it'll say I tested it, and then I go and test it,
And
and it didn't test it. It just says it tested. And then I need to instruct it, show me the output of the test. And then it runs the test and says, oh, it's failing. Let me fix that. Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, it's like you cannot trust an LLM. You can guide it. It'll
Yeah.
eventually get you there. It'll help you get there faster, but you cannot trust it.
Very intelligent.
Yes,
Yeah.
like humans, it's very
Yeah.
intelligent and it's full of shit.
Yeah.
So
Micron, one of the world's 3 largest memory suppliers, expects the global shortage of DRAM and NAND flash memory to persist through and beyond 2026 as AI-driven demand continues to outstrip supply. The CEO made the forecast during a company latest earning call on Wednesday, saying that supplies will remain substantially short of the demand for a resellable for the foreseeable future. The company posted record quarterly revenues of $13.64 billion, up from $8.7 billion in the same period last year. Nice for Micron. And I think all it means is that prices will go up. I mean, they don't say that there's going to be shortage and unavailable. They just say that supplies are not going to be there as much as the demand, but it's still going to be there. And I think that's all I have for today. Yeah, it's
Okay,
time.
then.
It's time anyway. What?
okay then.
Well, okay then. Well, fine then.
Amnon, do you remember the show The Outer Limits?
Yeah.
Well, now it's like we now return the control of the internet to you. That was a great show.
I still watch it.
Yeah. Oh, you can still
It's
watch
still
it?
there's all
Oh.
kind of reruns.
Yeah.
Different
Did you ever watch
channels.
that, Go?
No, I have it on my viewing list, but I
Yeah.
haven't.
Yeah, it's
You got to watch the
This
one
is
about.
not something that has transposed to Israel at all.
Yeah.
So it's I
no,
got
Oh.
each show has some kind of a message, and it's very nice. It's very good.
My favorite episode was about something called the Xantes. The Xantes were these alien creatures that come. I won't tell you how it ends, but it's fascinating because of
I mean, each episode is fascinating. It's
yes.
it's,
But I mean,
it's
you're like you said, Amnon.
and
They're telling you this, making an example of something for a reason, which is
yeah, and it was done before the space age.
yes.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay. I realized that Katie left. I didn't see her.
Yeah, she isn't feeling very well. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. Hope you feel better, Katie. Anything else anybody wants to add?
Have a safe holiday.
Yeah. Merry
Don't do anything-
Christmas.
Don't do anything crazy.
Tonight is the last day of Hanukkah too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope everybody gets the stuff they ordered in time for Christmas or whatever. Oh.
I ordered
Amazon has been interesting because you can get this tomorrow, and then you get the notice overnight that says,
Yeah.
now rescheduled for the next day,
Yeah.
and then now rescheduled for the next day.
They never say for the next day.
Well, they'll always
It's
say
all-
this. We now anticipate
Yeah.
delivery on this date.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how come you didn't tell me that
I know.
when I started? I realize it's a dynamic thing. I'm not still lucky
All right.
to have stuff like delivery systems like this.
So thanks, Gal. Thank you, Spence. Again, Katie, I hope you're feeling better. Oh, John is saying, yes, I found the problem. I guess that's John. And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Donna, Dina, Mati, Eleanor, Sarid, Yaakov and Yael. Thank you, everybody, for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing. Back up your hard drive and update your virus scanner. And change any same passwords where you use them. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9 o'clock. But you can always reach us at computers2know.com. And I just realized Nick did not send me the new frequencies of the show. So I'll just, Monday through Friday, 5 to 6 a.m., Nick hosts the Carolina Journal News Hour on WBT and YouTube. Just go on YouTube and search for the Carolina Journal News Hour. And Monday through Friday, 7 till 8 a.m., Nick hosts the Nick Craig Show at nickcraig.com. Again, go to nickcraig.com and you get all the information and download previous shows. So again, have a Merry Christmas, stay safe, and we'll see you next Sunday.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by StreamingGear.com and DeltaForce.net.